everyone, and welcome to this special explainer. I am absolutely pumped to jump into today's material with you. We're putting the spotlight on a truly fascinating person, Vaishnavi Sarma. She's the highly anticipated guest for the upcoming 6th episode of SHRISHTI. Whether you're someone who actively works on your mental well-being, or honestly just kind of curious about how dramatic life pivots happen, you're going to get a ton out of this. We're breaking down exactly who Vaishnavi is, the awesome business she's built, and this incredibly powerful message she has for women today. All right, let's just dive right in.
Journaling their way to healing. Now, that's not just some catchy marketing slogan, right? It's the absolute core of what drives Vaishnavi today. The big takeaway here is that her expertise isn't just textbook theory. No, she literally journaled her own way through some of life's toughest hurdles. I mean, think about what happens when we get stressed out. Your mind just races. It's like a tangled web of anxious thoughts, endless to-do lists, and heavy emotions bouncing around in your head at 1,000,000 miles an hour. But when you put a pen to paper, you physically slow that whole process down. You're forcing your brain to articulate just one thought at a time. She took this super personal tool and realized, wow, there's profound healing potential here. It's all about taking that overwhelming mental clutter and actually giving it some space to breathe on paper. She did it for herself, and now it's her absolute mission to help us do the exact same thing.
Moving on to Section 1, meet Vaishnavi Sarma, a story of transformation.
Okay, just look at the sheer contrast between these two worlds. On one hand, you have her past, a chartered accountant. Just think about what that involves for a second. It's highly analytical, driven by numbers, super structured, and, let's be real, a ridiculously high-stress corporate environment. It's black and white. The ledgers either balance or they don't. And balancing a chaotic spreadsheet is tough enough, but balancing complex human emotions, yeah, that requires a completely different kind of math. Yet, she made this massive, incredibly courageous pivot from the rigid finance world to become a certified journal therapist and wellness facilitator. It's a space that's all about deep empathy and nuance. Honestly, it brilliantly shows that where we start doesn't have to be where we finish. And the coolest part, she didn't just throw away her past skills. She took that innate sense of structure from her accounting days and brought it into emotional healing. She literally creates organized frameworks for people to process really messy, unorganized feelings.
Next up, Section 2, the Wellness Stationary Journey, a complementary partnership.
So once you find this massive newfound purpose, the big question is, how do you actually share it with the world in a way that's sustainable? Well, she turned her passion into a tangible business by co-founding a wellness-based stationery brand. And as we know, the best ventures are usually built on complementary strengths. Vaishnavi poured all her expertise into the product and design side. She's the journal therapist, creating the actual physical tools, designing those layouts and prompts that make the healing happen. But, a great product doesn't really help anyone if nobody sees it, right? A wellness brand still needs a rock-solid operational foundation. That's where her husband, Mayor, comes in. He handles the marketing, the website, the financials, the whole operational shebang. It's this perfectly balanced ecosystem. She gets to focus 100% on the creative, healing mission while he builds the critical business infrastructure that keeps the lights on. It ensures these life-changing tools actually make it into the hands of the people who need them most.
And that brings us to Section 3, the Superwoman Myth, unpacking generational expectations.
Doing it all as the superwoman and perfectionist, just like our moms did. Man, this generational expectation hits incredibly close to home for so many of us, doesn't it? Like, how many times have you felt intensely guilty for literally just sitting down on the couch to rest for 5 minutes? For generations, women have been conditioned to feel like they need to possess actual superpowers. There's this invisible rule book out there saying you absolutely must have the perfect career, keep a spotless house, be the flawless partner, the ideal mom, basically scoring a 10 out of 10 in every single area, all at the same time. We watched our moms do it, or at least try to do it, often quietly sacrificing their own physical and mental health in the background. And somehow, we unwittingly inherited that exact same heavy backpack of expectations. But Vaishnavi points out a really hard truth here. Carrying those so-called superpowers comes with a crushing amount of stress. It is a one-way ticket to burnout.
So what's the antidote to all that burnout? Well, it's threefold. First, we have to break the generational cycle. Just because things were done a certain way by the women who raised us doesn't mean we're obligated to drag that same self-destructive burden forward. We can completely rewrite the rules. Second, and this is so beautifully simple, learn to just be human. Give yourself the grace to mess up. Give yourself permission to be exhausted, to order a pizza instead of cooking a gourmet meal, or just let the laundry sit in the basket for another day. Being human means accepting your limits with compassion, not harsh judgment. And finally, let go of all those superpowers. Just hang up the cape.
It is so incredibly liberating to realize you don't need to be supernatural to be worthy of love or success or respect. Dropping that heavy armor of perfectionism, that is where true wellness actually begins. So I want to leave you with one final provocative thought today. Are you ready to let go of your superpowers and just be human? Think about what that would genuinely look like in your own daily routine. Imagine the immense, suffocating stress you could just let go of right now. This explainer is really just a sneak peek into the profound insights Vaishnavi Sarma brings to the table. I highly encourage you to carry this question with you today. And definitely make sure you tune into SHRISHTI episode 6 to hear the full, in-depth conversation with Vaishnavi herself. You absolutely will not want to miss it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer.